Hey, Pascal from Orangepixel, and it's that time of the week again that we upload a new video and you get to watch a new video. And it's gonna be a very positive, good feeling, vibes of type of video, and I'm very enthusiastic, as you might notice. A month ago, or a little over a month ago, I talked about Regulated City, the game I've been working on, and I was very close to just abandoning the whole project. I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't a lot of little things that just weren't coming together, or everything wasn't coming together, nothing was coming to... This is confusing. I wasn't happy with the game. But then I took a little vacation of a week. Well, actually that vacation was planned months before, but it just happened to be at the right time, at the right moment, and that just gave me some fresh look at the game. When I got back, I did one more devlog and it already showed some progress. I was happier with it. But now, almost 4 weeks later, I can tell you, this game is awesome. It's really everything just... I made a bunch of great and big changes. A lot of that based on thanks on the people on the Discord. So drop by on the Discord if you want to be part of these type of conversations. And these people will get their name in the credits because they really helped me push this game over that hill. Now it's gonna be downhill from here. No, that's not working. No, it's still going uphill, but over the hill. After the intro, we're going to talk about Regulated City. Other the changes, I'm going to show you a bunch of things. So a lot of gameplay video footage, and you won't see me, you will just see the game, which is for a lot of people enough reason to be happy about this video. Let's quickly do the intro and then dive into the game and all the changes I made. Thanks to people on the Discord. But I made them still. It's my game. I'm the developer. You guys get some credit. Right. After the intro. Let's just dive into it. First thing is the mission screen. So this mission screen has undergone a lot of different changes, and many little things have been... I just wasn't feeling it. There was a lot of stuff going on. There was too much stuff going on. It was confusing. We would open up a new mission and then it would open up 2 submissions in your later mission. Yeah, already trying to explain it shows that it was very confusing. What we now have is that you only select the center block or the center building of a block or city block. So that's the mission, and the submissions are now moved to the street view, which is like this tiny little change. Code-wise is still a lot of work, but the idea is very tiny and very kind of obvious almost, but somebody on the Discord had to mention this to me. I wasn't seeing it. But now I implemented it and it works amazing. So you just select the main building, you enter the street view, and from the street view we now have 3 doors opening the various missions for this block. So it's just, it also gives the whole street view more purpose. I really love the street view. I think sometimes it even looked better than the whole building. But there was no real purpose to the street except you running from one point to the door and then entering a mission, and that would be it. Now the street view actually has purpose because there you can select which mission you want to tackle first and second and third, and once you're done you get back to the city map, or if you want to abort and maybe upgrade stuff or things like that, it will be able to just jump back into your van and head back to the city map that way, and then you'll be able to select the headquarters and maybe change some stuff. I haven't figured all those things out yet, but in the headquarters you will be able to like train or upgrade or modify or have new weapons created, things like that. So probably, maybe, I think that's a rough idea I have, so we'll see if that actually makes it into the game. But I really like how these mission structures are now implemented. Mission navigation is much cleaner, move from block to block, not have to select specific buildings, just the blocks. I also added some clear numbers, and if a mission is done it's green, if it's not done it's red. So it's all a lot clearer and more visual to players, but also to an audience watching somebody else play, which is still something I try to keep in mind. The player usually knows what's happening because you're controlling everything, but you also want somebody who's watching to still understand what's going on, especially on screenshots and whatever. It has to be more clear than it was, and now it is. So the city map is back on track. And all these changes also allowed me to re-implement something that I had ripped out and that's you get to control what the next building is. Once you have completed a mission, you'll be able to pick out of a couple of buildings. There will be 3 options based on the money you have right now, and the money you earn is based on the missions you complete and all the extras. Based on that, you'll be able to select a building, and with these buildings come gameplay modifiers. So very easy, might be more ammo is being dropped or found. It might be that you get more health points. When you build a hospital, you'll be able to have more health points or an extra life or whatever. These little modifications will be linked to the type of building, making it interesting to select which building you want your next mission to be played in. I think it's a cool addition. I had to remove it previously because it just wasn't working with everything else, but now it's back in because now it works with everything else. Moving on to something else, the mission screen was very important, but another thing is gameplay. There was just a bunch of stuff missing and lacking. Previous video about the game, I think I talked about doing different tweaks to the enemies so that we actually have different type of enemies, and that already was a good way to go. But the player needed a little bit more, and on the Discord, again, thanks guys, somebody wanted to have dodge moves, dodging, being able to dodge away from bullets coming in or an enemy fight or whatever. And for a while I had a problem, I struggled with how am I gonna create these guys rolling and dodging, and I took it a bit too literal until people on the Discord came up with other ideas for dodging, which isn't really dodging but sort of a superpower like move. And what's not to like about that? So here are the dodge moves, because I've been adding them this week and I've been showing them on the Discord and on Twitter, but for those that missed it, let's walk through all the dodge moves one by one. So these dodge moves are on top of the superpowers that all these guys already have. The superpower requires DNA and a bar to be filled up, but the dodge move is per character a little bit different. So there's a cooldown between dodge moves depending on the person or character you're playing, but let's just dive into Morph. His dodge is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, dashing. He can do a quick dash and move out of the way. He will be invulnerable for the duration of that dash. He will be able to shoot all that. So it's a very simplistic but very functional way of quickly dodging out of the way of enemies. Yeah, very functional. Like I said, it's very simple to use, very easy, you obviously see what happens and not that difficult. So let's move to the second player, and these names are still a little thing I have to do on the Discord. Again, I'm not trying to convince you to come to the Discord, but you should come to the Discord. We're gonna be naming these guys. Morph is, I think, the only one that really had a name, and maybe Bionica also had a name, and I think it was something else than Bionica, but we'll figure that out. Let's just pick this character, and the superpower of this character is amazing fists, thumping everything on the screen into little thingies. So I figured the dodge move should be something with that fist as well, and well, this is it. It creates a little circle of fists around you. The fist will block anything from enemies, but also bullets. It lasts a very short time. You can't move during the duration of it, and you can't shoot out of it because, well, it blocks everything, including your bullets. But it's a pretty cool move to, if you're in a tight spot and a lot of bullets are coming at you, a lot of enemies, quickly press this one. It will also do a little bit of damage to anything that's near it, so actually smashing or hitting the enemies a little bit, and it's a pretty helpful. Yeah, it's not my preferred dodge, but I think this is going to give the player a lot of options. There's a lot of experimenting here and a lot of differences, so this is a pretty cool move. It looks cool and it's functional, just not my preferred one. I think the one I like the most is the next one. So her superpower is light, laser beams, doing stuff with light, and the dodge move is ghosting. Pretty much you'll be invisible for a small amount, but also be able to move through furniture and all that stuff. So you can quickly get out of the way, go through a piece of furniture and move behind it, and then have an actual cover. And you can't shoot during the duration of moving, so you are invulnerable, but you can't shoot either. So it's get out of there quickly and then be able to shoot from cover behind a desk or something. I think this is my favorite one, but there are two more. Let's dive into the next one. Alright, this isn't the most subtle guy, and I'm not sure yet what his superpower is gonna be. Maybe like some big bomb or explosion, I don't know, but he's not a very subtle guy, so his dodge move is pretty simple and straightforward. He generates a shield around himself, and nothing can move through it. You can't move, but you're invulnerable. Nothing can touch you for the duration. And in this case, the duration is as long as you press the button. All the other dodge moves are a single press and then it happens, but this guy will be able to create this shield for as long as you want at any time you want. And especially if you have your team members still alive and around you, you can turn into a shield and let them deal with the enemies. And as soon as it's safe again, you'll just release the button and you'll be able to move again. So yeah, it's very unsubtle, very straightforward. This is a shield. Which brings me to the next one, and this is still in development. I'm still tweaking it here and there. Girl, her superpower is also not yet decided completely. Probably something like moving everything or everyone or all the enemies, or crushing them, or with her psychic powers or something. So the idea came from the Discord. Why not have some sort of slow motion bubble? And we had some discussion about this. This is my vision of that idea. So as soon as you press the button, a little bubble appears and everything around you, except your teammates, will be in slow motion. Your bullets, enemies themselves, everything moves in slow motion for just 2 or 3 seconds. But it kind of plays awesome. Maybe the ghosting is probably my favorite, but this one already is a close second. It's very fun to play because you can just turn everything in slow motion, shoot a lot of bullets at the enemy, get out of the way, and all the bullets would then suddenly hit that enemy and their bullets will fly past you, and it's a pretty cool effect actually. So yeah, I'm still tweaking it. Had to add some special effects, some sound effects and all that, make it look more cool than it is. That's with most of these things. They are pretty simple code-wise, but then add a lot of special effects and things to make them look even more special. And yeah, very happy with these dodge moves. So with these big changes, the game is already starting to improve quite a lot. So I'm just turning your also been doing a bunch of tiny or smaller tweaks that are very important. Simple things like push back to enemies when a bullet hit them. They have a little push back in the direction of the bullet. This just adds a little bit of well, oomph. You're hitting them and you actually notice that hit. But you also get a little bit of extra distance from them as you hit them, giving you an extra bonus when you shoot at them. So things like that, and also kick back on the weapon, just little animations, little stuff. It just adds more feeling to the game, and I talked about that on this channel for many times here and there. A game needs certain game feeling. Just you can have a ball move to a bat and that's fine, that's a game, but you can also have then little things happening that just gives you a better feeling. The bat can have a little shake when it hits, and the ball can be a little oomph, a little growth, and then smaller, and all these little tiny tweaks. A lot of work to do, but they really improve the end result. And also the speed of your movement, speed of enemy bullets and your bullets, and just all these little things have been tweaked in between the big stuff, and we now have a game that's a lot of fun to just play test. And of course, if you're a patron, check the Patreon page. There's a link there to get this version every now and then. I update it usually on the Friday. I'll push a new version and update. I'm working towards a public demo on Steam. Now that the game is so much further, I think it's gonna help increase those wish lists. The game is very playable. So there will be a demo pretty soon, I think, because the game is really ready for it. So working towards that. Oh, and yeah, weapon system. There were already extra weapons in there, but I also in a very old build had alternate weapons, and the player would carry those on his back and you'd be able to switch between that weapon. That system was gone at some point because it wasn't really working and there were not many weapons in the game, so there was no real point to it. It just messed up the visuals. It's back. The system was still there. I never destroyed it, I just disabled it. Now that we have more weapons and we have melee weapons, so there's a bunch of things now. We have knives, we have baseball bats, we have a wrench, and I will be adding more. We have machine guns, we have triple guns, and I will be adding a lot more weapons. That whole system is now up and running again. which also adds to the game. You can now actually decide which weapon you're going to take and pick up and use, or your alternate weapon that doesn't shoot bullets, but you need to get up close, but it does get a very good punch out of it. Things like that. The game becomes more tactical and fun, and that's pretty much what I was hoping for. And for a long time, all that creativity was just stalled. It was just nowhere to be found. I couldn't come up with new ideas. I couldn't implement them. And the last couple of weeks I've been breezing through these ideas and all these changes, and there's still a couple of weeks to go, and actually a couple of months to go before the year ends. So I really need to get back to work on the game and wrap up the game, because there's one more question. What's left? What's next? Where, how long does it, what? Where are we going and heading with this game? There's still a lot of work I need to be doing, but I want to have this game released somewhere early next year, or do something else with it. And that something else is maybe a Kickstarter, just to fund the last part of the game, and also have some cool stuff for the backers. But that's another project I'm working on and can't talk about yet. But hopefully, if I can get all that done on time and come together as one thing, we'll have to figure out. I might also have to, or want to, recontact publishers. I contacted publishers a few months ago, but the game, I wasn't happy with the game myself. It wasn't nearly as good as it's now, and I quickly learned that publishers don't really have a lot of imagination. They only see what you show them and can't really think of what a developer is going to do with it, or maybe they don't know what I could have been doing with it. But now that the game is this much closer to an actual playable game, and so much fuller and has more gameplay, has more feel and all that stuff, we're just maybe gonna try again and contact a bunch of publishers. Also, last time I contacted about 6 publishers. 5 of those haven't really checked out the demo at all, so I'm not even sure if they checked out the email. They might have read the subject and deleted it at that point. But I also talked to other developers, and some of them contact like 50 publishers. I don't know that many publishers I would want to work with, but okay, that's a lot more than 5. So I might just try to contact more publishers and see if they are interested and can help with the marketing. That's pretty much the main thing I need help with. A little bit of funding and marketing, and yeah, everything else can be done and fixed. I can have it run on PC, iOS, Android, Switch, eventually Xbox and PlayStation, and Atari VCS even. I can have it run on a bunch of things, but marketing and a little bit of funding will help me get this game to where it should be. So now I just need to make sure it gets completed. I might go into an early access with this on PC, iron out stuff, and then based on player feedback, improve the game. But that's going to be a topic for another video. For now, the game is pretty much on track, and I hope you enjoyed watching all these little things. If you want to see more, I might have forgotten to mention this, but jump on the Discord or follow me on Twitter or whatever. That's where I usually show a bunch of little things that I just worked on, and I'm very happy about it, and I just want to show it to people. It's going to be on the Discord or on Twitter or on both, and eventually at some point it will show up in a video like this. So thanks for watching a video like this. Next week's video is going to be about something. I have no idea yet. If you have ideas or want me to talk about certain things, let me know in the comments below, or let anything know in the comments below, and I'll reply to everything usually. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next week with whatever we're going to talk about. And we're nearing that end of year video as well. Just a few more episodes, and then it's the end of the year review, where I talk about how the year went for Orangepixel, also money-wise and also game-wise and all that stuff. So make sure to subscribe, like the video, and have a nice day. That's something different than see you next week. Just have a nice day and see you next week.